Today I fucked up by cleaning out my ears with only cotton swabs for 20 years. This actually unfolded over the last week, and I'm still enjoying the results of my actions. So for the last few years I've regularly had an itch in my ears. Over the past few months it came as far as having an almost daily itch, and I had to clean my ears multiple times a week because of the ginormous amount of earwax my ears were producing. I had been searching for a long time to find an alternative for cotton swabs, as I am aware they're not the best, but wasn't able to find any. Guess I'm an idiot. Last week the itching became so bad I started googling again, knowing doctors will not be an option for at least 6 more months in my country due to COVID. And so I found an ear spray that is supposed to help dissolve your earwax while keeping your ears moisturized. Sounds perfect. I ordered the spray, and as soon as it arrived I started going to town. At first the itch immediately subsided, then it became much, and I mean much worse. Also, anytime I'd move my jaw I'd hear a scratchy noise inside my ear. Finally fed up, I took out a cotton swab and was shocked as I pulled out a huge piece of dead skin from my ear. As in, I didn't even know the inner ear had that much skin surface. It's like I'm a badly shedding lizard in my ear. Every day I'm pulling out huge pieces of dead skin from my ears, and it doesn't seem to stop anytime soon. So yeah, gonna enjoy that for a while. At least my hearing has improved since using the spray. No more cotton swabs for me. TL, doctor, used cotton swabs for years. Itchy ears caused me to try out a spray against earwax. Turns out my ears were itchy from years and years of dead skin buildup. Now my ears are even more itchy from all the dead skin getting unstuck in my ears. Edit. To all the people asking me in the comments for the product, check your local pharmacy. They probably have similar products there and will be able to inform you. Best of luck and healthy ear cleaning to you all. I've had a similar situation before. Thankfully the solution I put in my ear cleared everything out. I guess more people should get professionally cleaned though. I've heard it makes a huge difference. No pun intended. Legitimate response, I've been told. Does. Went a couple times in my teens when my ears were clogging up regularly, and having the doc clean them out was borderline orgasmic. The relief of being able to hear and have clean ears is amazing. When I was a freshman in high school, I had this earache that I couldn't seem to shake. At first, I thought it was to do with my TMJ, which would cause pain episodes that affected my ears. Then, I thought maybe it was an ear infection, but the doctor said everything looked okay from what they could see. My dad went out and got me those special ear drops that help dissolve earwax, and I gave them a go. Did the left side first and got some stuff out, but nothing crazy. Then I did the right side, the side that was more painful, and when I went to rinse out my ear, I took the blue bulb out of my ear to refill it, and there was a giant wad of wax on it. Probably the size of a Skittle more or less. Sorry, don't mean to ruin Skittles for anyone. Grimacing face. I finished rinsing my ears out and OMG, my hearing was improved dramatically, and within about 15 minutes the pain had completely subsided. I'd how my doctor missed that hunk of wax in my ear though. My wife was convinced she was going deaf in her right ear. Reasons and causes varied from day to day. She refused to let me irrigate her ear. She kept digging at it with Q-tips. They would come out clean and white. Finally, it became completely deaf. I convinced her to let me do some things to her ear. I put warmed oil in her ear for 15 minutes. Then I rinsed it with warm water vigorously with a syringe several times. I hit it with peroxide for 5 minutes. Flushed it with warm water a few more times. Then I broke out the spray stuff. Things came out of her ear, so I told her to start digging. Holy fuck, the amount of garbage she pulled out of her ear. She probably went to high school with some of that in there. A dozen Q-tips with huge chunks of tarry, cheesy, coppery golden goodness. She spent the next few days pretending to still not hear out of that ear instead of thanking me. I have had that. The peeling skin and increased itching was the result of a staph infection likely caused by the overuse of Q-tips. Skin on the inside of your ears will be raw, lovely breeding ground for bacteria, and if you get the skin wet you may be more prone to inner ear infections. I definitely was. My suggestion is to get your ears checked with your doctor. Today I fucked up by not knowing how to eat an artichoke, which led to me artichoking. Obligatory, this didn't happen today, blah blah blah. Some background: when I was 11 I was homeschooled due to me being bullied and the school not doing shit. My mom was a single mother, so unfortunately she couldn't take time off to stay home and teach me. Her best friend, being an absolute sweetheart, offered to teach me at her house until my mom got home from work each day. My mom's friend, let's call her C, was the definition of fitness mom. She took a literal 5k jog every morning, was on a diet, and gave her kids mostly healthy food. She was also way more religious than my mom, so things at her house were very different than things at my house were. One day, my mom had to work late, so she offered to let me have dinner at her place until my mom showed up. I asked what we were having and she said artichokes. Artichokes? The fuck is an artichoke? I didn't want to be rude, so I told her that I would like to stay for dinner. I sat at the dinner table as she finished up in the kitchen. She later came in with what looked like a bush on a plate. She and her family held hands and did their dinner prayer, while I looked at my plate with one thing on my mind: how the fuck am I supposed to eat this? Everyone began to dig in. I on the other hand was still staring at my plate. She had worked hard to make dinner. I wasn't about to just refuse to eat it. For all of you that don't know, you're supposed to eat an artichoke by picking off the leaves and scraping out the soft insides with your teeth. I on the other hand, did not bother to ask. So instead of asking how to eat this because I didn't want to be rude, I picked off a leaf and shoved the entire thing into my mouth. First thing I noticed was how hard it was to chew. Literally felt like I was trying to chew through a tire. C looked at me and smiled. Does it taste okay, Op? I didn't want to upset her, so I just nodded my head. People were already almost done, and I think they noticed that I was just sitting there chewing the whole time. C looked concerned and asked me if I felt sick because I wasn't eating anything. It hit me that I needed to answer her, so I fucking swallowed this whole ass artichoke leaf. And that's when I started choking. C ran over to me and started patting me back really hard. After about 10 seconds she hit my back hard enough so I coughed the damn thing back up, where it proceeded to land in the center of the table, where the following conversation happened. C, Op, me, yeah? C, did you try and eat the whole leaf? Me, yeah. TLDR, ate an entire artichoke leaf, choked, that's it. Points for the title. Dude, you have no idea how excited I got when I thought of it. I've never had an artichoke and I'm sorry for your artichoking episode, but I'm glad to be informed of how you are supposed to eat them in case I should encounter one in the wild. I did this once too, at a fancy dinner with my grandparents. Except they were roasted so they were soft enough to kinda eat. Ate at least 10 leaves. Had the worst stomachache later. The worst. I feel like this was a PSA for anyone who has never eaten an artichoke. Like me, you choked so none of us ever will. Thank you for your service, my friend. I've never eaten an artichoke since. I could tell what the whole story was from the title but still had me entertained throughout. Good job, Op. Today I fucked up my first time buying condoms. Posted this in r/sex yesterday but the mods eventually removed it because it didn't apply to that sub or something. Some of the comments suggested I come here, so here I am. In a few days, if all goes well, I will no longer be a virgin. I've been doing everything possible to prepare for what's to come, which is how I ended up at the convenience store 2 days ago to purchase condoms for the first time ever. Not gonna lie, it did feel really awkward standing in a queue with a Snickers bar in one hand and a box of condoms in the other. Maybe it was just my imagination but I could feel people staring. It also didn't help that on the box was a half-naked woman preparing to take off her pants. If that wasn't awkward enough, as soon as the cashier had to scan my condoms, the scanner somehow stopped scanning. The cashier raised the box of condoms towards the heavens like it was baby Simba, just to check the big ass barcode printed on the bottom. The cashier apologized and said she's new before proceeding to call one of the other cashiers to come over and assist. At that moment I was tempted to just abort the mission and leave, but I convinced myself it couldn't get any worse. I was wrong. Cashier number 2 showed up, and lo and behold, it's one of the girls at my school. We're not friends or anything, but we've seen each other at school enough times to prompt a "hey you." Cashier number 2 noticed the condoms, and I could tell, even behind her mask, she was struggling to keep a straight face. So, instead of just keeping my mouth shut, I blurted out, "It's for my dad." Both cashiers froze and looked at me like they were scared I was gonna go into more detail. Long story short, I got the condoms and got out, but now I got PTSD or some shit. If it was any other product in the store, none of the above would have been weird. So why is buying condoms so damn awkward? Or maybe it's just me, I dunno. All I know is, I ain't going back there ever again. TL, Doctor went shopping for condoms at the convenience store. It seemed like the people in the store were judging me. I became awkward and without thinking said the condoms were for my dad. My dad. Lol, so stupid. I bought condoms in person 2 times. One time my science teacher decided to say hi to me while I was holding them, and he had his newborn daughter in his cart and told me I made a good choice. I was a sophomore at that time. The other time I bought in person, the old lady at the counter looked at the Magnum box and without skipping a beat looked right at my dick. Never again. You're supposed to keep your pants on. Haha, cute. There's a first to everything, yeah. As someone who's worked a cashier job before, I'd say we treat a box of condom just like a box of cereal, cause well, everyone uses condoms and there's absolutely nothing weird about it, lol. Hope you have fun, wink wink. I hope the cashier that ended up selling me the condoms has your chilled attitude, because soon we'll see each other at school again, and high school girls can be somewhat evil sometimes, lol. Thanks though. The first time my boyfriend and I had sex, he unknowingly bought the condoms that make you last longer. It was all fun and games till I decided to give him a blowjob and my mouth went numb. We still laugh about it, 11 years later. Bro, all you would have had to do is give her 2 short eyebrow raises and you would have been fine. This was the way. Awkward me realized that as soon as the word dad was spoken. Them thinking that you were buying condoms for your dad is probably worse than them thinking you were getting them for yourself. You'll look back on this in a few years and laugh though. Good luck and have fun. Also, if the girl you're getting with is also a virgin, I highly recommend you go back to the store and buy some lube. Smiley face. She's covered in the lube department, thank goodness. I'm not her first, which I'm hoping will be a blessing because I'm gonna need guidance, lol.